when I watch these, I like to get, well, when people get right into the boards, but I also know that there's a bunch of people watching this that don't know who the hell I am. Yeah. So I'm Dave Anderson, also known as Dave Skoot. I was a graffiti writer my whole youth. Still am a graffiti writer, just don't really take any risks anymore. You know, I don't want to get arrested. So the Skoot is something that I got named in my neighborhood a long time ago, and I tried to get away from it as much as I could, but I just embraced it because, you know, it's better than being called shitfoot or little dick or something, you know? Got into skateboarding a little late. I didn't get into skateboarding until I was about 22. I didn't get into collecting until 6 years ago. So I was kind of building this collection in my head since like '02, but I wasn't able to put it together until now. So it's kind of awesome that you guys are here because I'm so proud of what I put together, especially coming from where I came from. I'll get into that later. Troubles in the past, battling addiction and stuff. I didn't think I'd actually be here. So to have you guys in my house right now is amazing. I know my mom would be proud. So when I take you through the collection, I'll show you that this collection, what I have on the walls, is basically split into three main artists. I have Evan Hecox, Tony Larson, and Todd Francis. Those are the three artists that my collection is based off of. And then it shoots out into other areas. I try to cover all the areas of people I like and things that I find really dope. Those are the main three because I find in collecting, if you don't have a plan, you'll kind of be everywhere and then you're nowhere. So I kind of broke it down. So like this piece right here, I actually got this from Tony Lawson. This was in Tony's house, part of his collection. This is the Modern Chair series. This is actually the reissue. The original came out in I think 2000. This one came out in I think 14, maybe 16. Sold out instantly. So to be able to get this is like, and like Tony said, this is the one that like all his artist and designer friends like want really bad because of the Ames chairs. You know, people really love the Ames. Is the chairs, and the artist and him and his wife are the ones that did these. So a lot of people that are into design or industrial design really tend to love these. I mean, and then it's funny because this is the board right here. Hearing about this board is how I actually met Tony, because he had done the Grail classics where they go in and they talk to the artist and about the series, and he had said that when they made this board, this was the most expensive board ever made at the time because of all the colors that they had to screen. Like some of them, there's only like one tiny little bit of green that they actually had to pay for. You know, back then they tried to use as little bit of color as possible to save money, but with this one they went all out. So then I had repeated that fact on one of my posts on Instagram, and Tony heard it, and he hit me up. And he was like, oh, I can't believe that you knew that, and blah, blah, blah. And we started talking, and he's a great guy. What's up, Tony? Amazing guy. And I can't believe he offered me so much of this stuff. I've been completely blessed that he offered me so much of his amazing work. My house is pretty much filled with a lot of his stuff. I think he worked at Grail from 2001. He might have done some earlier stuff with them, but he didn't start working in the art dump from like 2001 to 2006, maybe 7. I could be wrong. Sorry, Tony, if I'm wrong. But he was nice enough to sign all these for me too. Check that out. Sick, right? He signed every one of these is signed. But he's smart, man. He didn't just sign every board I got from him, because he knows you don't sign everything. He signed the ones that are the dopest, though. I'll show you some of those if you want to come check them out. Let's see. Tony's down this hallway here. We'll get back to some of the Hecoxes, but this is another one a series I got from Tony. I'm not sure the name of this one. I think it's Pinstripe series. I think he did this in '03, I'm not sure. Sorry, my dog is barking in the background. He wants to come play. And this one's very rare. I've never seen this full series in anybody else's collection. I've only seen like 1 or 2, and I know that Grail has it in their archives, but also these ones are all signed. Gotta show that on. How sick is that? I mean, you know, to get the work. Oh, and Brian actually signed this for me too. I was at Brian's birthday at NJ Skate Shop. What's up, boys? And he signed that for me. So dope. I love this artwork. He did this, and he was so inspired by doing the pinstriping that led to the next series he did, which is down here. Again, these ones, super rare. I've never seen this series anywhere. I've never seen it in singles. I've never seen anybody have this. This one he signed as well. Look, let's take the carol down. Look at that top graphic too. So this one I call like the Day of the Dead pinstripe, but I don't even know the name of this one. I don't even know the name of this series. I've never seen anybody else with it, so I don't even know. Talk about being blessed. Totally, this is like a board collector's wet dream. To have the boards by one of your favorite artists, from one of your famous artists, autographed by your favorite artist. So dope. And this series is almost like the later companion piece. I didn't get this one from Tony. I got this from my boy Al. Alex, what's up, Al? This is dope. This is called the Interior series. And you can see the Ames chair. He didn't go total Ames on this one, but you could see the 70s, I guess, interiors type of motif that runs through it all. The clock that a lot of people had in their grandparents' house with the paneling. The phone with the green. I love this green right here. It just pops. It looks so good against the white. I love full series. Full series is really where it's at if you're going to collect. It kind of gives you something to focus on when you're collecting rather than just like, you know, having one or having another. When you have a full series, it's like, it's the set, you know? It's like almost like being a kid and you want the whole set of guys, you know, and as an adult you can actually get it, you know, it's nice. This right here, this is my baby. This I'll probably never get rid of. This will probably stay with me. This will probably be at my funeral, okay? This is the Evan Hecox car series. This one, it's not complete. I wish it was complete, but it's not. I think a lot of people love this one. I think this is when people think of Hecox, they think of this one and maybe a couple other, but this is the board, the Scott Johnston BMW. This is the board that I see in my mind's eye when I think about board collecting. Like when I think about board collecting, I think this board. It comes to my mind. It comes to my mind first. So when I was able to get this from Italy, I was so happy. All these boards I got separately. This Keenan, ooh, this Keenan Milton right here. This is a OG Keenan. This was the first. It's the only real Keenan I have. I've had opportunities to get other Keenan Milton boards, but I kind of was like, I knew the feeling of owning a Keenan and I didn't want to gobble them all up. I kind of wanted to like let other people have that feeling. I mean, I kick myself a little bit now for doing it. I'm trying to go back and grab them now, but when I remember when I got this, I won this at auction for unbelievably cheap price, like way cheaper than it should go for. I remember I was telling my friend Iasnot Cannell, I was telling him I felt like I found a Picasso on the sidewalk. Like that's how happy I was to get this board, you know? I felt like I found a Picasso in the garbage. Funny note about this is it's never gonna be reissued because this buggy right here, the Volkswagen, it got cease and desisted because they didn't get permission from Volkswagen to use the Volkswagen. So Volkswagen cease and desisted the series. So they'll never be able to do this one. Which they did later. They made a taxi cab series, but it's taxi cabs and they don't particularly, or I guess it kind of fell under the radar. And they used all overseas types of taxis. Pretty smart, you know? But you'll never see this one reissued. This one's my baby. Another one that's very rare. The Magnificent Seven. This one, I love this fucking series. I can't believe I have as many as I have, too. I can't believe, I'm still, again, missing the molder. Purple, it's purple. If anybody has the molder, please hit me up. But the sixes, I think any Hecox series, if you can get at least 5 or 6 of them, you're doing pretty good, especially the older ones. This is actually a little later for Hecox. This is, I think, 07, like that's 01. You can see it says 01 on the Keenan Taxi. This is a little later, this is 07. But for an 07, this is highly coveted. This is the one a lot of people ask me about. Like, you know, they want to know about it, they want to know if I'm selling it. I don't think I'll ever sell this one. I mean, look at it, you got the York, the orange next to the blue, just pops. Of course, you got the Gino. Scott, what up, Scott? This one's dope too. You get the 2 guys there. Little Clint Eastwood action. So dope. The colors, Hecox kills it with the colors. The colors are like a song. If the colors are like the beat. You know, a song can only be so good with just lyrics. Like the artwork, if it doesn't have a good beat. So the colors are like the beat, and the artwork is like the lyrics. You know, the main part. So to me, it's like, it's got to have those colors, you know? Like, if you can go back to this one for a second, if you look at it, it kind of looks like a roll of Lifesavers. Like the colors, like it's got that, it hits that note, you know? Which I think works great with the white in the room. Kind of got blessed with that. So this is a Keenan tribute. This actually came out pretty late. This was a collaboration between Huff and Chocolate. When they were finally able to start putting stuff out in Keenan's name, they had put this tribute series out. So you got a San Francisco board. I guess it's all the places that Keenan spent time in his life when he was in with Fun. Was it Fun? I think it was with Fun. San Francisco, New York, of course, and LA. I was telling you before, this is a funny story. When I won this at auction, I thought there was only one picture, or I'd only seen the one picture of this board, so I thought I was only winning this board. So then when I won, I hit the guy up, and he's like, oh, they're going to look great. All three of them are going to look great in your house. I'm like, oh, three? And he's like, yeah, you won the whole thing. I was like, oh, shit. I scored these. These I got for really cheap. These are some of my babies, too. I mean, the cars, the same aesthetic, the same artwork, and then you got the split colors with this one, which is really dope. The automotive theme is something big with Hecox. I love it. It's either the automotive theme or people. Those are the ones I like the best. And I have, this one's a big one. This came out late. This is the 20 years of chocolate. This came out for the 20 years of chocolate celebration. 11 boards, all the guys from Chocolate. So this is one of the later chocolates. Like this one came out a little later. This was for the 20th anniversary of Chocolate. This came out, I think, yeah, 14 would be the anniversary because this is the 30-year anniversary now, 2024, which is coming up. This is your big boy. This is 11 boards. This took me a while. I started with one of these, and I pieced it together from one. And it took me the full time I've been collecting, which is almost like 7 years now to complete it. I needed the Mark Johnson. It took me a long time to find the Mark Johnson. But I love the connecting, that how Hecox uses all the boards as one piece, and you see the background connects. He was one of, correct me if I'm wrong, my skate nerds out there, but he was one of the first artists to do that in skateboards in the first street series. This is referred to as a Hecox street scene. There's 4 to 5 Hecox street scenes, and in the first street scene was the first time a skateboard artist had used all the boards to make a full scene with the backgrounds all connecting. And he repeats that theme, not all the time, he doesn't play it out. Examples of it we can show in a second, but it's fun. I remember the first time I had gotten one, like being able to match them all up and connect them and everything was pretty skate nerd. But it's hard because sometimes not all of them match up. Like this will match up, but then that won't match up. So you kind of have to pick which part you want to match up, like the main part, not the smaller part. Like a good example of that is over here. You could see like this matches, but then that doesn't, right? The donut matches and then that matches, but you can't, look, the back there don't match. So I guess it's really hard to get them to all match since somebody's making them after he does it, you know? But for the most part, they match up about 90%, 80%. It would only be a real skate nerd that would notice something like that. You know, someone like me. So yeah, this one's real dope. This is one of the last street scenes that he does. I have another one of the street scenes over here. So this is another one of the later street scenes, and I love this one because it's got a Pappalardo. Big fan of Pappalardo. Big fan of Pappalardo. I love his, very rare. His boards are very rare, highly coveted too. I got this one from my boy Alex. I'm gonna say it again. What's up, Al? He blessed me with this one. This one you don't see all the time. This is a rare one. Even though it was done a little later than the other ones, I don't know the exact year on this, but it has to be from when Pappalardo was on, so I'm going to say around 06 to around 2011, but I think it was around like 08, maybe 09, this one. And you got the Callaway, yeah, Devon Callaway was on. These are dope. I like this one. You get the car, each rider has a store. Gino has Mexican food, which I don't understand why he has Mexican food. This is funny. The Gino here is actually the Gino, and the later one I have over here will show it. They just used the same Gino pose and then put him in here. It's pretty funny. It's real nerdy, but you'll see it. And they actually use it again on another one. It's like the same pose. I guess Hecox didn't have more poses of him, so he just used the other one he had. It's pretty funny because he's wearing the same hat and everything. Real nerd stuff, but. You got these gangsters over here with the Porsche. The line goes through. So you kind of use the line as the basis. And then you got to pick whatever. But the chocolate goes through nice on this one. The color, again, see the colors? The colors kind of make this piece. Everything's kind of, the artwork is very illustrative on this one, but the colors make this one. And then this one, this is the third street scene. And this is the Gino I was talking about. You see he's holding the bottle with the hat? This is the original one, and then he used it for that one over there. So this one, this is a big boy. This is 9 pieces. This took me a while. This one's real. You don't see this one completed much. A lot of guys start this, but they don't complete it. The Pappalardo is very hard to get, and the Callaway is very hard to get. Even mine, if you see the Callaway and the Mark Johnson were in a skate shop's front window, and they're faded. But you got to take what you can in this game. It's a full contact sport, you know? And I had help putting these together. Like, you know, other collectors know what you have, and they know what you need. So when they're out there doing their deals, they'll be like, whoa, Dave needs that. Let me let him know. Or maybe if I get this, I could trade that with Dave. That's why the community is so great. The great people in this community, and of course there's kooks. There's a lot of kooks in every community, but by far there are more amazing people in the skateboard collecting world, by far. I wouldn't have this series if it wasn't for amazing friends that I've made through the collecting game, because you know, you can't be everywhere at once, you know what I mean? And people have eyes out for you, and that's great. And I try to do the same thing. I try to do the same thing for people, you know? And I got the first Hecox is on down here if you want to follow me. This came out later. This is considered the second Hecox street scene. This one's a lot of people really love this one. The original was Keenan's, the last series that Keenan Milton was in too. So they didn't put the Keenan one out. I think it was 6. I don't think it was 7 boards. For a while there, I thought there was 3 black, blue, and whites, but I'm not sure on that. The first one, this one doesn't connect though. This one doesn't connect, but this is considered the second street scene. Again, the colors, look at this. The silhouette, the way it's silhouetted, it's not too illustrative. The silhouettes kind of make this. This was the first series that I bought. This was the first one. And when I hung this one up, and I would come into my room and I would see it, I was like, I think I'm onto something here. Like it would just fill me with like this energy, like, you know what I mean? Like they say feng shui, you laugh at it, you think it's funny, but having these boards hung up around you and like being around them every day, and I don't know if it's because you know how much you put into it or you see the fruits of your labor, but it fills you with like this positive energy. Like, all right, it's amazing. And people that have them say the same thing. People that hang them, that's why I always say they're meant to be hung up. They're definitely meant to be hung up, you know? That's why series are the best, because series look the best, you know? I know most people aren't gonna just turn their house into a gallery. Most people are gonna have like a man cave and only display one, but you know, it gets a little, it's like tattoos, you know? Once you get one, you kind of want another one, you know what I mean? And as you can see, it's pretty addictive, you know? But yeah, this is dope. I wish I had the first Hecox Street Series to show you the first connecting one, but it's very rare. It's probably like a $6,000 to like $10,000 series, you know? So, very rare. Very, very rare. But yeah, again, this was the reissue, but this is the beauty. I had an opportunity to buy the real one, but I had the reissue, so I was kind of like, that's why reissues are good, you know? Some people are against them, but then again, if you have one and you took a long time to get a board and then they reissue it, you're kind of like, oh, now everyone can go and get it. But you'd be surprised. They're out there and then people just don't buy them again. It revisits itself, you know what I mean? People don't have the money to buy it all at once or whatever the case may be, but yeah, for the most part, those are the street scenes. I have a bar series in my room we can get to too, which is my favorite, one of my favorites. That one will be at my funeral too. Yeah, this is the second Hecox bar scene. They had made a first one with the team of riders that were there then. So like instead of this being Mark Johnson, it was Mike York and he had the bunny suit. Instead of this being Divine Calloway, it was Stevie Williams. I think this was Keenan, or that was Keenan. I'm not sure the configuration of the guys because I don't have that series, but this was the first connector that I got, what I was talking about earlier, where I couldn't wait to come home and like match it up, you know, because I didn't have any series that did that. I scored this. This I got from a great guy. He had it up at auction on eBay. It went around like 3 times. No one bid on it. He dropped the price to like $400. With shipping, it was like $500. And I took this. And he threw in another like 4 boards from Hecox for like another $100-something or something like that. Scored this. And that's what got me going in the beginning too, because when I first started collecting, when I went to Tim's shows, I was like, how do you get these? I can't get these. I didn't think I was going to be able to get anywhere near. But the more I tried and the more I went out there, I saw that it was possible. Like, if you just put a little time, you have a little money, put together a little war chest and devote a little time and energy, you can get them, you know what I mean? So this right here was a big motivating factor in me keeping going with the collection, because I couldn't believe I had this. I mean, this is a beautiful piece, you know. Again, the colors, look at it. Like, you know, the colors make it. You know, if he did any other colors, it might not be the same series, you know. I love that this guy's standing there. Who's this guy? That's Pappalardo, right? That's supposed to be Pappalardo. There's Crob, right? C-Rob. You got LD cleaning up with the drunk lady. So funny. The original's dope. I wish I can get my hands on the original, but it's very hard to get together. And of course, people want good money for it, you know. People take these gems that most people take, and they're made to be destroyed. But they take them, they spend good money on them, and they put them aside and save them. And then somebody else wants to come along and just buy it for them if they're cheap. It's like, come on, man. That guy had the presence of mind to save this beautiful thing, and then he wants what he thinks is worth for it. Now, obviously, you know, you're not going to try to get 10 grand for something like this, but a couple $1,000, I think it's worth it. You know what I mean? So I try not to lowball people when they have really good stuff. I just wait until I have money, you know? And I don't like to pay $1 million for things myself, but at the same time, when someone spends the time to nurture and keep something like this, or the presence of mind to set it aside when everyone else is destroying it, that person deserves a little respect and a little something for their time and effort, you know? That's how I feel. You got the Pappalardo next to it, a little accompanying piece right there. That's a Hecox as well. You can kind of see now that I've been showing a lot of the Hecoxes, how his artistic style is and why it's so dope. I have a couple other loose Hecoxes in the room, if you want to show them. Up here. That's the bunny suit that I was talking about. They did the theme. They ran with that theme a couple times. They have Mike York in the bunny suit. I think in like 3 of them. The card series, this one, the bar series, and maybe another one. They ran the bunny suit. This is the Divine Calloway from the bike series. That's a dope one. That's the only board of Divines that he don't have. When I talked to Divine, he said that that's the only one he don't have. And I offered it to him. I said, do you want it? I'll give it to you. Do you want it? No. It's complete gentleman. This is the copy that the company and the people that the screen company, they decide and they go, all right, this is the one, you like this? Okay, so then they would cut the hole in it not to sell it. And then some companies like Shiloh Greathouse told you on your podcast that time, they would use the hole and put a peg and put it on top of the screening press, and that would be the reference. So these are like one of ones. These are like holy grails in the collecting world, you know? Because it's not only old and rare, but it's the one that they have set aside, you know? Real skate nerd shit, you know? You could say I have another one over here. Ooh. I even have the piece of wood that goes in there. Like somebody saved it. Like you could put the wood in there. How nerdy is that? It's so great. I love it. It doesn't display well though, so you know I took it out. But yeah, these is just, I mean, I'm not sure exactly who the artists were on this. I'm sure it was probably Andy Jenkins and just some of the members of the art dump. But these girl boards, I love these. These are very rare girl boards. And I just love how, like, I love to see what they're going to do with the doll next. Like, it's the same, everybody looks at the same doll logo and then they each come up with a great idea for it. You know, like, what else could they do with this, you know? These are some of the iterations that I love the most. Like this one right here. I got Brian to sign this one too. This is signed by Brian. This is his first board on Girl. What's up, Bri? This is dope. He was happy to see this. This is the first one of these I got. I got that from Jerron. That's from Jerron Wilson. What's up? What's up, Jerron? I got that from him. That's signed by Jerron. This one. I got these from Grail. Grail had done a Grail sale out of their distribution place in Canada. For some reason, they did it through them. They didn't do it in the United States. I don't know why. But they threw a whole bunch of amazing boards up for like super cheap. And like auction style, or you could just buy it right up. No, I think they were just straight up sales. I got these for great prices. I scoped these out. And that's when I had the opportunity to buy a Keenan. I think they wanted like $500, which is still a great deal. Like $500 for a Keenan is a good deal. They'd go for like $1,000, you know? So I was like, should I get the Keenan? Should I get the, you know? And I was like, and I got these two instead, you know? I paid probably the same price as I would have paid for the Keenan. I got the Ferguson and the Costin, which I was happy. Let someone else get that one, you know? Like Tim Gavin. Tim Gavin boards are so rare. I personally love Tim Gavin boards because it's like it just screams old girl team. You know what I mean? You just know it's old girl when you see Tim Gavin on there, you know? And he's such a great guy, too. Another great father, you know? You see him with his kids, loving his kids and everything. Great guy. What's up, Tim? Amazing guy. Tony, as well, another great dad. Amazing guy. Talk to Tony all the time. Super cool. Everybody is so nice. That's what I love about, you know, Girl. At first you think like, you know, oh, these people are so big to you. And then you reach out and you start talking to them and they're just like the coolest, nicest people, you know? It's great. I love these. These are very rare. These, I almost skipped over this. Most people don't even know that Colin McKay was on Girl. Right? So most people don't even have the Colin McKay. These are very rare. Very rare. I always looking for a Colin McKay Girl board. I had a very rare Colin McKay Girl board, but I did the right thing. I gave it to my friend who was collecting that series, and it was so rare he only needed the Colin McKay. And he hit me up when I first got it. But I was like, let me enjoy it for a little while. I know you want it. I'll come back to you. And I sold it to him. So he could complete that series. It's like the college basketball series, I think it was. After a while, you just realize it's sitting in a stack of boards. I got a bunch of them. But for his house, it'll be on display all the time. So why not, you know? Why not? I mean, we're talking about rare boards. We might as well get to this bad boy right here. The Highwaymen. This one got cease and desisted, obviously. I don't know which one of the family members or estates put a stop to it, but I mean, look at the legends. You got Johnny Cash, Willie Nelson, Chris Christopherson, and I always forget this guy's name. Waylon Jennings? I think that's Waylon Jennings. I'm not a big country guy, but look at those fucking beauties. Those are very rare. That's a very rare series. Highly coveted, too, especially from dudes who are really into it. I mean, look at the Johnny Cash. Sick. Yeah, this is a great one. This is just, I mean, come on. How could you not? And I remember watching, because I devoured, when I was first getting clean, I had to really, like, you know, keep myself away from all bad things. So I had just stayed in and just devoured hours of Girl footage. So I would eat up all the information I could on board collecting, or anytime anybody went to the offices, anytime they talked about boards and artists would talk about boards. So I had seen this on the wall at the offices of Girl, and I was just like, I'll never have that. Like, you know, look at that. Look at that fucking thing. I'll never have that. And then when the opportunity came to get it, I got it for a great price, too. I can't believe what I paid for it. I don't like to go into prices too much because it's not really about the money for me, but I got it on a steal. But this is just so funny. This was done by Herschel Baltrosky. He does I love his work. It always makes me smile. He does a lot of like the cropping of the guys' faces to put on other bodies and stuff like that. He does all the artistic work too, but I think his best work that makes me laugh the most, like he did one where the guys' heads are all put onto babies' bodies. That one always makes me laugh too. It's funny, you know. He you know, it's funny stuff. I mean, but also another connecting one. Connecting ones are always great. And it's nice, 4 pieces are great. You don't really see a lot of 4-piece and 3 pieces, but they're great. Not too much, not too many to collect. You don't need a lot of wall space. You know what I mean? 2 pieces. 2 pieces are the best for that, especially if they connect. Oh, I love a connecting 2-piece. Because, you know, 1, they connect, 2, not a lot of room, and it displays great. You know, you could line up a bunch of 2 pieces, you know? It's all about displaying for me, as you could see. Because it just takes on a whole different energy, you know? I have the whole vault room inside, and the boards lay in the stacks, and as great as it is to flip through them, they're just so much better on the wall. And I will rotate them, but I just moved here. I had anyone that follows me on Instagram knows that I used to have the other house, and it was all set up, and I had everything on the walls, and I had them all on my bed. That was fun. I used to just started with 1 board on my bed. I didn't know where to put them, and then the whole bed just got covered, bro. By the end, there's that picture in the magazine of my room. It looks like just stacked. That's why I started calling. Somebody called me like Scrooge McDuck. They were calling me Skoot McDuck, like I swim through the board, you know, because that's what it was like, his coins. But it's funny, dude. I liked having them on the bed because I could see them. I like to see what I have, you know what I mean? That's why displaying it is important for me. But yeah, I have the vault room inside. And I always go through there too. I have to go through there and like switch up what's on top so I could see. I can't just leave the same ones on the top all the time, you know? But that's the fun, you know? That's the fun of it for me. This is another series done by Herschel. I love this series. This series means a lot to me. Not just because of the amazing artwork, and not just because of all the cool characters, but when I was using, I remember watching a video of Herschel going through with, I think, CCS. And they were going through the Girl warehouse, and he was showing this series. And I went nuts for it. And I knew at the time, being the junkie that I was never going to have, I thought I would never have this series. So when it came time that I actually was putting this series up, and I had like 5 or 6 years clean, all that other shit was behind me, and I actually had this on my wall, it was like, it was a good day. It was a really good day. So this board series means a lot to me because it kind of, a badge of honor for me, I guess you want to say. I don't even know the right word for it, but it just means a lot, you know. I never thought I'd have this, you know. And I'm just very grateful. I'm very grateful for my sobriety, and I'm very, very happy to be here. I'm very happy to have all these boards, and I just feel blessed, you know. It's like I tell people that my collection is, it's a celebration of happiness, you know. It's a celebration of life. It's a celebration of happiness because I didn't think I'd be here, man. And this makes me happy every day. So, I don't know. I just love, again, the colors. The colors are like the beat. Look how dope this looks with all the colors. Amazing. Amazing. All right, so the third artist I showed you my Hecoxes, I showed you my Tony Lawsons. This is the third artist that's the major theme of my collection. This is Todd Francis. His work is so funny. You know, I don't think people realize how hard it is to make someone laugh from a drawing. Like, think about that. Think about sitting at home, drawing something, and not even using words. Like, some of them he has words, but most of the time he doesn't even use words, and he conveys a message that makes, like, 9 out of 10 people laugh. That's a very hard trait to do. That's not easy, you know? And he just nails it time after time. I mean, look at this. The guy at the singles bar with the goiter. Like, unbelievable. You got the monkey business, and then the cop getting bit in the face by the dog. I love, this is part of a 4-piece that came out, these are reissues, came out for his book, Todd Francis, Look Away. So they reissued these. The cool part about these is, these are all the number ones. They're all the number 1 of 200s. Except one, I think the pigeon is 6 of 200, because I got these 3, 1, 2, 3, all together. I got them for a steal. I think I was the only bidder. And then this one I got later, but that's a 6. So these are 1 of 200. I mean, not that that means too much, but I think it's just really cool, you know? And I always wanted this board. I mean, that green that they use is just so iconic. I mean, Stranger, they tend to give Julian Stranger the green ones. I call it like Stranger Green, you know? It's almost like the same shade. I mean, and Julian Stranger is fucking God, so... His boards, I wish I could have every one of them, you know? So the rest of my Todd Francis boards are in what I like to call the vault room. And this room always blows people's mind. When the first time that Freddie Gall ever seen the old vault room, he took a step into the room and was like, holy shit. And you know if Fred Gall is blown away by something, then you know it's pretty gnarly. Because that dude's seen a lot. But yeah, these are the rest of, these aren't, I'm pretty sure these aren't Todd, but these are just unbelievable boards. We'll get to those, but these series, this is what I'm talking about being able to draw a picture and make it look. This is called the, I think it's called the Plastic World, or I forget. It's all about like how if plastic it was in all things too. If we treated the plastic and destroyed the world the way all through history and like books and novels and everything, so you could see Jaws with all the litter. And he's got like the bathroom thing on him, like hilarious. And then this was Jeff Grassa. They got Jesus walking on water, but he's walking through all the pollution. Hilarious. Moby Dick, but it's got the bag and all this shit. There's a blow-up doll. And it's got the things that kill the dolphins, you know, these things, the six-pack holders going through it. It's like genius. Genius. To be able to like, no words, again, no words. You automatically get what he's saying, right? That's not easy. 4 years of art school, I couldn't do it, you know? So that's why I love his work. He's genius. He's a genius, dude. He's a genius. Anytime I see anything of his that speaks to me, I always fucking grab it. This one's great, too. I scored this one. I picked this up. This is signed by Todd. This is funny. This is like yuppies, but they're they're insects. So it's all yuppie insects. Classic, dude. Of course they're eating sushi, you know. Again, the colors. Look at the colors. They nail the colors so well. The green, except this is a Grand Tail, an amazing skater. Cardiel. Cardiel's amazing. These aren't, like I said, these aren't Todd, but these are amazing. This is from the Beauty and Beast tour. It was a combination collab between Girl and Anti-Hero. So what the Anti-Hero guys did like a theme of the Girl theme. They took the Girl framework and they put their guys in it, which is like, you know, just combines two of my loves right there, you know. So it's the Anti-Hero world, but yet with the Girl silhouette. I love these. These are very rare. These are very, even though this isn't even that old, but these are very hard to find. I'm always hunting the last two, the Hewitt and the TNT. These are dope. Again, Stranger Green, see? So sick. So sick. And I got a couple more loose ones over here. These are funny. This is like the Goiter. This is the 20 years later series. So it's like imagining this guy with the goiter, like where are they now, 20 years later, and he's sitting at the same place, just older with the goiter, and he's got Viagra in his pocket, drinking Pepto instead of a drink. And then you got, he had done an earlier series of this guy when he was like young working at the fast food place, but now he's older. He made it to assistant manager. He's got his retainer on the burger, he's spitting on it. This one's great. I wish I had the original from this, like, you know. So good, so funny. I love it. I wish I could draw like that, you know. I always wish I could draw like that. This is why I love his work so much. This wall, I try to hang as many of what I call the grails, you know, search for the Holy Grail. So that's what we call grails, like the really hard boards to find, the ones that you're looking for, like this, you know, Sierra Madre, you're really digging and looking for. So these are some of my girl ones that I just treasure. I have a lot, as you can see. In the stacks, I have a lot of boards. So it's hard for me to isolate, but these are some of the rarest ones. These are done by different artists, not just Hecox, Tony Lawson, although a couple of them are done by Tony. Oh, these ones, these Jeremy Rogers, another one of the girl guys who are very rare. You don't see a lot of Jeremy Rogers boards in collections. That's why I really treasure these. But this has a cool backstory. Tony told me that Jeremy dropped off his jewelry to Tony's studio so Tony could get it exactly perfect. And when I had retold that story when I was showing the boards, Jeremy seen it and he hit me up and was like, no, you're exactly right. I remember the day I dropped him off at his place and I remember being totally blown away that he matched up the jewelry exactly the way it was. So to be able to have both of them like these, I never see these anywhere. These are really, really rare. And look at the way he nails it. I mean, amazing. So good. So good. This is P-Rod's first board on Girl. Super rare. I snagged this one on an amazing deal. Signed by P-Rod. I didn't get it signed. The homie got it. The guy I got it from got it signed. This is called the Sticker Series. But this is his first pro model. I know he had a pro model coming out on City Stars, but it never came out. So this is his official first pro model. And when he was signing this to my friend, he was blown away that he has it because he said that not many people had this. He said something like, I think there's only 3 or 4 of these in existence. I think there's a couple more, maybe like 5 or 6. I've seen about 4 in collections, and he has one, and of course Girl has one. But it's still, I mean, think about that. 6 boards in the world, you know? How many million people are in the world, and there's 6 of them? So that's what we're talking about when we're talking about rare. The Mike Mo, one of Mike Mo's first boards. Again, Beavis and Butthead. That's his brother Vince. They like to play on that theme a lot. I needed an early Mike Mo. And a buddy of mine that collect only Mike Mo had to sell off his collection because his girlfriend or wife was getting sick and they needed the money. So it was a no-brainer. I got to help my friend and his wife, and I got to get an amazing board. I love when stuff like that happens, you know? It's like you get to do a positive thing and you get a positive thing back, no-brainer. And it's great. It's a funny board. I got this from Tony, Super Cock. He did this. This one's great. People don't realize it's not just a play on words, but Eric Costin, when he wrote graffiti, his tag name was Cock. So Super Cock, you know. And then this one is great. The Frostin' Flakes. I don't know. That picture is like legendary. I think that's like a still from a party they had. I think it was like a Halloween party. I think they have footage of it in Chomp on This. I could be wrong, but he was really messed up. There's like a video of that picture. It's like, he took it, but I think that's great. I love it. Again, very rare, very desirable. A lot of people always ask me about that board, but I got it from Tony. I'm never getting rid of that board. I mean, never say never, but I don't think I'm getting rid of that board. I love it. You got Rick Howard. This was done by Andy Jenkins, the first art director of Grail, who came up with the first logo. Amazing dude. What's up, Andy? He's back at Grail now, where he should be, because he's amazing. This was done in 2001. I just love it. I mean, I love the color. It's part of a bigger series that was put together called the Vashil series, where they picked like 3 boards from one series, 1 board from another series, 2 boards from another series to display all the Art Dump artists. And then they put that together, called it the Vashil series, and they displayed it in a museum in Germany. I have a couple more of them around. I could get to them in a minute. But this is one of them. It says it there on the bottom. You have to get real close. Maybe we'll pick that up later. Next to that, that's Beeble's first board. I'm pretty sure Tony Lawson did that one too. I don't remember if I got it from Tony or not. It's kind of hard to remember all of it, but I mean, just look at it. That's a beauty. Now this one, these are all Grail, but I had to make an exception for my man Scott Johnson, one of my favorite skaters and all-around amazing guy, and I'm truly blessed to be able to call him and his amazing wife my friend. That's a Mad Circle Scott Johnson board right there. That one, that's your big boy right there. That's pretty rare. If anybody knows Mad Circle, is an old company. And it has a lot of nostalgic value. The nostalgic value on that one's pretty high. I got that from my man Joey Alvarez. Blessed me with a whole bunch of Grails. Absolutely blessed me. Just gave them to me. Amazing dude. What's up, Joey? I treasure that board. Treasure. You could tell it's right next to the Tim Gavin. This board. Everybody that used to skate in the early 90s, if they skated Grail, they all hit me up when they see this board. Because they either skated it, or they wanted it, or they knew about it. But the Tim Gavin stick board is so dope. And it's one of the rare ones with the hole. So it's the one-of-one prototype, the Print House master copy. So that just makes it even that much rarer. I've never seen another one of these in a collection. I've only seen the one that Grail has. So it's all, you know what, I'm lying. Somebody had it, but they had it set up. And it was like ridden, and it wasn't that good. It was, it was trash. It was something that they saved, like their last board that they wrote, and they just saved it. But I've never seen another one like this in a collection besides the ones that Grail has in their archives. This one is very special to me. This is a Gabriel Rodriguez chocolate board. Of course, it's like the Atlantis Falcon spoof. But because when I got this board, Gabriel hit me up when someone sent him the post, and I started talking to Gabriel. Since that day, we would talk on and off, and as a lot of people know, Gabriel has since passed away from cancer. So to have the ability and the chance to talk and laugh around with Gabriel, I mean, that's what this is all about. You know what I mean? It's something I'll treasure for the rest of my life, and it's because of this board right here. I got to laugh around, joke around, and talk skateboard with one of my people I've looked up to. I think that's a big fact before I get to the next one, why I really got into collecting. I always hated, you'll hear that old cliche, Van Gogh is an artist who, in his lifetime, he never seen any of the money from his artwork, and now all his artwork is worth all this money. So it's I'm not really into Van Gogh, but I am into Gabriel Rodriguez. I am into Gino Iannucci. I am into Paulo Diaz. I am into all these people. So if I can contribute the money I have in any way that would help them now, help their lives and better, and I get to reach out and help that person, why not? That's kind of how I believe in skateboarding. If you're not contributing at least 1 month of your favorite skater's salary a year, you don't really have an opinion. You're not helping. You're not giving back. These people need to eat. They have families. These hours of enjoyment that they give us. It puts their body through a toll. And it's something that they might not be able to do forever. They probably hope they can do forever. And then they sit and worry about the days that they can't do it forever. So it's like, to be able to contribute to those people, like in my lifetime, I can say the people that bring me the most joy, the people that I think are like Van Gogh on that level to me, I can affect them in a positive way. And it's like, when it actually happens and it comes full circle, it's amazing, you know? I mean, I'm getting a little off here, but I mean, that's just one of the big reasons why I like to collect, you know? But anyway, this is a Paulo Diaz board. Chocolate, very early. Check out this. Look at that. That's how you know it's early. Right there. Look at that top graphic. The artwork from this was done by Paulo's brother, Kike. He hit me up when I was showing this board on my Instagram. Because he asked me, he goes, is that have a 7.5 on the side? And I was like, yeah. He's like, that used to be my board, man. Another great guy. So, I treasure this one, man. Another one, very rare. There's another version of this, and I think gray or white. They ran like 2 colorways, but you don't see the green. You rarely see the green. Just like this one. I think the only other one I've seen of this one is the one that girl has, or chocolate, you know? But yeah, I treasure this one. This one's dope. The only time you see a Paulo Diaz board out there, or a Gabriel Rodriguez chocolate, grab it. Do yourself a favor. Because they don't have a lot of them, and you ain't going to see it again. So, in my collection, you'll notice, and I'm not a huge fan of horizontal graphics. I'm not in love with the way that they display, but I do have a lot of really dope horizontal graphics or series. So I had to like make a wall just for my horizontal graphics, and I think this is like the best display of those. Yeah, I have some pretty rare ones here. Some of my favorites are here. The Javante Turner. Javante's boards are extremely rare. I am so happy I got this board. I've already have like standing offers on this board. The people like, if you ever sell it, I will give you this much money for it. Like a couple. Because this one's really rare. Like I heard when they were making that movie mid-90s, when they were making the skate shop scenes, they had to show girl boards in the background, and they were going to make fake ones. They had to ask Rick to bring the boards from his thing because they couldn't even find any of these. That's how rare this is. I've never seen another one of these. No, I'm sorry. I've seen like 2 in collections. 2 in the world. And as much as I love collecting boards, I love looking at people's collections. So I know what people have, you know? And I've never seen more than 3 of these out there in the wild, you know? These 3, same thing. I got these from Tony. These are amazing. These are like the Canadian girls, the Canadian guys of Girl series. Never seen this in anybody else's collection. It's the 3 riders, and I guess 1 owner, of Girl that are Canadian. You got the Rick Howard, Tony Ferguson, and Rick McCrank. It's pretty dope. I love the artwork. Tony's great because Tony doesn't just have one type of style. He like every series he'll go like, just when you think he's one way, he could do something totally different. Like one type of illustrative style and then another type of like subdued style and then something. It's just amazing. Like I love how he just switches it up all the time. This one I love. See, these are actually the first reissues that Girl ever made. 4 years after the company was going. These were made in '99. They're the first classic edition. So this is actually a reissue, but the original one came out in '95, and then this came out in '99. So, I mean, it's almost as rare as the original. I've only seen 1 of the original in somebody's collection. This was done by Bucky Fujimoto. Look at it. I think it's like they call it like the Partridge Family board. Some people call it the Partridge Family board. Some people call it the Birds board. It kind of has that Partridge Family. Maybe I'm aging myself a lot here, but it has like the Partridge Family theme. I mean, and Sheffy. Another one whose boards you don't see. Girl boards. Oh, so look how thin this is. Look at that tail. This is a 7.4. You can almost see how it tapers down. When it's displayed, you could see totally one side is... Oh, just everything about this board I love. I love this board so much. And then this Rudy underneath. I have a couple Rudies. I love Rudy's boards. This board is so dope. Also, artwork done by Paulo Diaz's brother. This is another Grail classic. So it says it was made in '95, the original, and then this one came out in '99, 2000. This is so dope. I used to have the Guy Mariano Spaceboard version of the Grail Classic, but I traded that. Even I make mistakes, you know? Oh, check this out. Huge Gino fan. Who isn't? Amazing dude. This is a reissue of Gino Iannucci's first board on Black Label. How sick is that? The I Love New York. I mean, for a reissue that came out in 2007, you don't see a lot of these, you know? That's why I even allowed myself to get it, even though it was a little scuffed up, because I've seen maybe 2 pop up for sale since I got it, and, you know, for something that came out in 07, it's pretty rare, you know? I don't think they made a lot of them, you know? This one right here, the Mike Maldonado. Ooh, that's a rare board right there. That's very old Baker. You don't see people, those old Baker boards, like the first couple years that Baker was around, highly coveted, highly desirable. I mean, look at the artwork. It's almost like a graffiti piece. It's so done so well. The colors, the shading work, the 2 rosters. It's so dope. The 2 underneath it were done by Tony. I think that might have been the first series that Tony ever did for Grail too. I only have 2 of them though. It's like a baseball theme. So the Howard is covered, but the McCrank isn't. I love the color. Again, I love the colors on it. But yeah, that's my horizontal. Those are my horizontals. Very rare, very dope. These are the Hecox. These are Hecox portraits. So at first Hecox did them for the first 6 guys that were on the team. But then it became a tradition that when you come to Chocolate, your first pro model, that they either give you if you aren't pro, or when you come to the team, your first board will be a Hecox portrait. So like these guys just joined the team, right? You got James Caps, Carl, and Jordan. So these are their first pro models. Chocolate made the Hecox portrait. So these are really new. But when Jerry came to the team, he was pro. This was his first board. And a lot of people always forget that Jerry was on Chocolate. He's like Colin McKay. People forget. You know, Divine Calloway. People forget. You know, and I like going for those types of boards. Those are like the boards I love getting because it always makes someone go, oh yeah. You know, this isn't a Hecox. This is like a. It's not a reissue. I guess it's a tribute. Thank you, Steve. This was done by Manolo. He does the Manolo mixes. I think this is an English company, 91. But still, this is probably the closest I'll get to having the Keenan Hecox portrait, so I took it, you know. And this is amazing. You got these. This is a series. This came out as a series because these guys didn't get these as their first board. It wasn't a thing yet. This is like when it started after this series came out. So these 6 came out as a series. The Chris Roberts, the Justin, the Daniel, Divine Calloway, Anthony Populato, and Jesus Fernandez. I love Hecox. So these are ones, and this is a collection. It's like a side collection. It's like the collection inside the collection that I'm trying to get, you know. So I'm always on the hunt for the Hecox portraits. I need the Stevie. I need the Stevie Williams. I need the Richard Mulder. I need the MJ. This one I got. You could see it's the Kenny. It's faded though. It was in the front of a skate shop. Goddamn skate shops. They always keep everything in the winter, especially in California. Everything gets so sun bleached. But you know, I've never seen another one. Never seen another one come up for sale. So I'm happy I got it. A lot of people really love this one because you know he's very beloved, Jerry. So this one's really dope. I like that. I think he does these in gouache. It's a type of ink. His style is just so amazing, and this illustrates it a lot, you know? These portrait boards really illustrate Hecox style a lot. Prototypes. These are insanely rare. Because you'll get a prototype, but you won't get a prototype with liner notes on it. Like this has liner notes. Like you could see there, it's telling them that the black is bleeding through from the cigarette, and that they don't like the pink over here, and that this is too thick, and that's too thick, but that's too thin. And they forgot to put the dots here. See, look, where's the screen? It says cigarettes, the pink's still showing on the cigarette. Like pre-production notes on Spanky's first skateboard. Like, oh my God. Like these, I treasure these. These are grails, you know? I love these. And then this goes with my Spanky collection because this board right here, I'll pick it up to show you. Spanky had done an art show for Porsche. They had like a new car release, I think, and they had commissioned him to do the artwork and to do the design of the room. So he put 40 boards, these boards he made 40 of them around, but he drew an original piece of artwork on the grip tape side of each. So each one of these 40 boards has a different piece of art for it. At the end of the event, Spanky was only able to hold on to 3. And Kevin offered me this one. He offered it, you want to know if I want it? I was like, hell yeah, yes, please, yes, I'll take it. I can't believe he actually offered it to me. So Kevin, thank you. Kevin's an amazing guy. Great guy. Another amazing father. Like, you know, great guy. Another artist that I love, who happens to be Kevin's best friend, is Neckface. Neckface is an amazing graffiti artist nonetheless. This is a dope board. This is like Andrew Reynolds' Coffee Squad. I like this one because usually you get like one of Neckface's characters per board, but look how many you get on this one. You know, what is that, 6 of his characters? And that's what he's kind of known for, like his certain characters. Like there are people who have these tattooed on their body. Like his fans are ravenous, you know? People will hunt down like his stuff on the street to try to get it, like, you know? Amazing. This is like a one of a couple. Oh, this might be a single, I'm not sure, but I think this is part of a series. This was a Neckface too.
That was a series.
It was a series, right? Yeah. This is a spanky Neckface, so that's why I love this one. Again, horizontal. I'm not a huge fan of the horizontal, but this brings me to these. I love these. I love these because I got into skateboarding late at 23. And that's because when I was at that age, I wasn't doing anything anymore that gave me like that me. Like I'm Dave Skoot, the guy who wrote graffiti, the guy who used to DJ, the guy, and I wasn't doing any of that anymore. I wasn't drawing, I wasn't doing my graffiti. I was just going to college, driving around in my car selling magic plants all day, and I didn't have anything of substance that made me me. So I used to play Tony Hawk's Pro Skater all the time, and when you wanted certain things, they would give you like the videos of the guy's actual video parts. And I remember seeing one of Costin's and being like, holy shit, this is where these guys are at with it now, like, and being blown away with it. And then like, I was like, maybe I could get into this, because like my cousin was into it in the 90s and I had always followed it. Like I was into graffiti, he was into skateboarding, and graffiti and skateboarding go hand in hand. In every crew of guys, there's always one that skateboards and one that writes graffiti. Well, they do both, you know? So I'm always aware of 411s. I was always aware of the styles and CCS magazines, you know? So it's always been somewhere around my life, but I always thought that I would be horrible at it. Well, it's just, you know, when you're younger and your mom's like, you already have too many hobbies, you're not getting into that. Like, that's kind of how skateboarding was. Like, I had already so much, and then when my cousin got into it, it was like, I didn't have room for it. So when I was 23 and I had this room to suck at something again and to get back into something, I attacked it, you know what I mean? And that's when I started skating at 23, you know? And then that's why I love these, because Tony Hawk was actually a big part of it. People laugh, you know, but I love Tony Hawk. I mean, Tony Hawk's fucking great. And Pro Skater, especially the second one, me and my friends were ravenous with it. So you got the Alyssa Steamer, which I needed an Alyssa Steamer board because, I mean, come on. She's a fucking legend. You got the Andrew Reynolds, and this is like the Player Select screen from Tony Hawk Pro Skater 2. These are dope. I think they're the reissues. I think they made these early when the game was out, and then they redid them in like maybe like 12 or 13. I could be wrong on the dates. But that's why I love that so much, you know? It reminds me of why and when I got originally into skateboarding, you know? Not only is he one of my favorite skaters, Jesus Fernandez, but this board is insane. Neighborhood skateboards, you don't see these boards, ever. This company has been out of business for what? Like almost 20 years, if not longer? It's been out of business for longer than some people have been skating. And this was the first company, him and his brother both rode for these, right? Wow, I love this, because now it has the graffiti motif going with it. I mean, talk about style, dude. This guy is so good, so humble. I talked to him, he's so nice. I talked to him, not as much as I talk to other people, but he has reached out and blessed me with his conversations a few times, and he's like one of the sweetest guys. There was a Daniel LeBron that matched this. I think it's like the same type of bus in red, and when the guy that I got it from was selling that one, I kick myself every day for not picking that one up too. So I had to make sure that I talked about this board. See, this board was I got from my mom. See, me and my mom was retired, and her knees were bad. So she spent a lot of time on the couch, and we would watch, and I would be taking care of her when I was working from home and stuff. So we spent a lot of time watching TV and talking, and time that I treasure now since she's passed, because my mom passed away 2 summers ago. But we would watch the 9 Club, and she would see this board behind Kelly all the time, and she'd say, I want that board, I want that board. Because my mom was the one who pushed me into the collecting, because I was kind of like apprehensive about starting, and I felt bad from all the bad stuff I did when I was in my active addiction. And she was like, no, I want you to start this. I want this to be your next thing in life. And she bought the first board of my collection. It's somewhere in the stacks. I'll show it in a second if I can. But I bought this for my mom on Mother's Day, and she was so happy. She would always ask me, where's my board? Where's my board? So I had to show this board. And then when the guys from the 9 Club found out about it, they were talking about a 9 Club, and all the people that follow me on Instagram went nuts, and everybody was talking about it. And it was a really big moment, because my mom then seen that on the 9 Club, and my mom was crying, and she was really happy, and it's a great moment for me, especially, after my mom's passing. This is my mother right here. This is my mother right after she had my brother. Beautiful, right? Linda Anderson. I love my mom. Love you, Mom. This wouldn't be possible without her. But I had to show this one. I just had to. They don't often give pro models to photographers, so you know that that's why this one's special. I mean, Gabe is responsible for some of the dopest pictures and some of the... He shoots video too, right? Yeah, he did shoot video early on. Because I think he got the rail, that big San Francisco rail of Cardiel. I think he got that. But this, I used to see this, not a lot, a couple times in people's collections, and I always wanted it. And my boy Joey Alvarez, he popped up with this and gave this to me. Dude, so blessed. I love this. This is one of my most favorite newer boards that I acquired. Not that it's new, but it's newer to the collection. I was making posts. I think it was in every post for like 2 weeks because I just couldn't stop looking at it. I love the bold yellow, bold green, like stuff like that. So dope. That's a dope one. No wonder why you like it so much. I like this one a lot too. Let's see. What else? Oh, you know what I'll show? I want to put that on top of that. These are cool. All right, these two I got from Tony Lawson as a Christmas gift. And the cool thing about this is, I always forget which one, but one of them they didn't do, they didn't like. So then they made the other one, you know? So he got both of them and he gave them to me because he knew that I would like that for my collection. Like the one that didn't come out and the one that came out, you know? Rick McCrank. I love it. I love these. I mean, there's a lot. This series is a one-off series that was really dope. And anytime I see it, I get excited. But this is really nice of Tony to give this to me. Thank you, Tony. I appreciate it. I love these two. I know there's not a lot to them, but it means a lot to me. I think this is dope. Stuff like this is what makes a collection too, you know? Let's see. I also got the wedding. I got to show this one again. This is a dope-ass board. I wanted this board for a long time because they had it in NJ Skate Shop. They had it on the wall at NJ, and they didn't have any for sale. I missed it. This is one of Brian's first Plan B boards, and it's got the Yankees logo that NJ bit. I think it's so dope. This is a dope series too. I've heard from one of me and Brian's mutual friends that Brian's doing a lot better. So I'm hoping to hear from him soon. I'm just hoping that he's got his head down and he's focused on doing better. But I love you, Brian, and I hope to talk to you soon, man. But yeah, this board means a lot to me. He's a good friend of mine. It's dope. He signed it too. He's got horrible handwriting. Look at his handwriting. It's like chicken scratch. Work on that. All right. I had to show this board. So Mike Sinclair, he did, I'm pretty sure he did, it was board hoarders, or skate hoarders that he did. And he said that he wouldn't believe that if anybody could find this board. Because this is his only pro model that he ever had. From the bad Zorlak, not the good Zorlak, as he says, but this is how bad the graphic is. I think I even have it upside down. That's the right way. See, that's the guy's head. He's like a robot guy. So bad. But he said that the only people that would have this would be him, his grandmother, and his mother. So I took that as a challenge. I got this. This came from the Netherlands. I tracked this board down. I took it as a collector's challenge. And not only did I find the Mike Sinclair bad Zorlak, but he signed it for somebody. How great is that? I got it, Mike. I found it. The Mike Sinclair Bad Zorlak board. Oh, I love it. So bad and so good all at once. Don't ever throw a challenge out, because I'll get it.